Hello and welcome to this episode of the Counterspell. having at it where we left off previously, or perhaps a couple of sessions before, which is the front side of our Mimic character sheet. And as you may remember, we had some technical difficulties yesterday, though they've been fixed. And I hope they'll stay away for at least a couple of months. And preferably only show up when I'm not streaming. That would be nice. But without further ado, the backside of the entire character sheet, including some of the scribbling notes that have been taken. And we were busy with the last part. The amount of loot that players would hoard and collect, aside from other trinkets that players might need. So the essentials on the second page, the spell components on the third page, like all of the stuff that a player character could actually drag with them. So the hoard of the Mimic is representing all of the junk characters player characters drag through with them throughout an adventure. And to put it frank, it is a lot. Spare clothing, bedroll, water skin, food rations, weapons, instruments, herbs, all of these spell components. If there's a spell caster, it's even more. It's ridiculous. Towards the loot part, and previously we had about a conversation about follow thumb being on the painting, and a goldfish over here. So a bit of a wink to Xenator. A lot of coins. We had some chalices, goblets, however you will them. To me, it's a potato. When it comes down to the difference between a goblet and a chalice, it's like if I look at images from Google, it's like they kind of look like similar. I have no clue what's the difference between a goblet and a chalice, and I'd have to look that one up. I wouldn't know. Like a cup from which you, yeah, an item that you used to drink from. So that's my knowledge about chalices and goblets. Like one may be fancier than the other, but perhaps if chat knows, you can look it up. I'd be happy to hear more about it.
Hello there.
General Kenobi. Nice, welcome to the chat. Troll skull, that's a nice one. Some jingly keys to unlock some treasure chests. And another hello there, General Kenobi. Welcome Blizzard Fox and Baima. Hope you guys are doing good. Healing potions, that's a thing. What else could be valuable? Like coins and like a crown right over there. Some probably cursed amulet being dragged along. What else could be of importance to stack up in the first page, which is resembling like the player character stats, all of that. We have a combat corner on page number 2, at least with all of the weapons in the collection. It's like the necessities that player characters drag around. The first page could be an interesting one. Like in the background, our Mimic continues on. It's like one big piece of inside the Mimic. Gems. Indeed, gems. This is really becoming an unreadable mess in this corner. I may have to clean up soon-ish. though there are some gem components over here in the spell component department. But could also focus on like emeralds, stuff like that, and make a clear difference between all sorts of gems, like the ruby. I'd have to look these things up, but just for a note for myself. Like, there we go. Like these are the trinkets that I would say they are there, but they're not too large. Maybe I could stack them right over here. As for spell components, it's like diamond dust and stuff like that. And with Lionheart, it's going to be a challenge to get everything to be clear. So some of it will be Clutter Chaos. But for those who are using the color version of the sheet, it will be making a little more sense, I hope, for when I'm done. And of course, along the way, I'll be looking up a ton of references to get things done nicely. So color is most important when it comes down to gems anyway. It is true. That is true, Baima. But yeah, there are several different cuts that I know of, like the brilliant cut, perfect cut being less valuable than the brilliant cut, and there's a difference between them, but how to get that one into display. You'd have to be a jeweler to actually see the difference and know the difference, and I am not. So I'd have to look up a bunch of things. Yes. The rounded shaped. Like for some reason I'm very fond of lapis. May not be worth that much, or but I think it's just nice. It's a nice gemstone. Maybe some quartz or crystals. That could be a thing. Crystals. Yes, indeed. The brilliant is the most expensive cut. That's true. Thank you, Baima. And when I think of minerals, maybe some other precious metals, that could be maybe some gold or silver or platinum bars. Maybe some platinum bars or something. Some scribbles on them, making them worth a whole lot. And of course, there might be some dwarven signs or runes coming on those platinum pieces, like the dwarven smiths have been working on it. It would be fantastic, like some reference. I like my references. All right. Still one thing I have to do, otherwise we're gonna have some Discord noises in the background, and I'm not a fan of that during a stream. So I'm going to turn off my Discord, at least put it on unavailable. Whoops, so we won't hear anything if I get a notification. Whoop-de-doo. Now, players are into collecting an abundance of weird stuff. Like, I know that one of the play characters that I hosted for had had a tendency to go collect feathers, but not just any type of feathers. They had to come from harpy, like harpy feathers, because there were there was some value to it, and that could make a fairly interesting thing. But that is more of an inside joke and nothing to what the common people who'd buy the sheet and look at it like, feathers? Why are there feathers in this important loot section? Like, I don't get it. Painting. Scribbles. A bracelet, that could be a thing, like a magical enchanted bracelet that is allowing you to shoot better, or at least something with archery. Could be a thing. Maybe a few magical items. Though I did stash a couple of magic items right over here within the busy corners. Just let me a quick look through what we already have. It was a club for when they go clubbing. One of the spell components is an actual club, like a wooden club. I believe that's a drinking horn right over there in the utensils, and I need this on my traveling go page. And that's a quiver in the corner. That was a bedroll, I believe. Maybe. Just to put in a bit of a movie reference as well. We have a flying carpet resting over here. Aha, there we go. It's like, I know that we have the spell components right over here. And that's a crazy amount. A lot. There's even eggs in there, like raw eggs. And eyeballs. Crickets. Oh, it's a crazy amount of lot. And owl feathers, so I drew an entire owl. Because why one feather if you have to recast a spell and it consumes the item, so you need more owl feathers. Poor owl. Yeah. And maybe when the owl sheds its feathers or something. It's like molding, it's a thing. I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's either annual or once in a particular season that it happens to birdies, depending on the bird species. And speaking of animals and birds and the likes of them, they're fairly colourful. Following back up to the conversation that colour is most important when it comes down to gems, apparently so for birds too, a great deal. And I've been watching on Netflix David Attenborough, Colour in Life or Life in Colour. It's really good. So far I'm learning a lot about the different colours and that there are colours that we as humans cannot see. It's like the ultraviolet, but a lot of animals, mainly insects and the likes of them, use them fairly well. Then again, there are a lot of insects. And when I'm really thinking about it, what would be treasure? And this is just a bit of a joke. Like maybe maybe they have an entire flamingo open there. Like, I mean, who knows? Players are hoarders. But yeah, if a flamingo has to live in someone's treasure pile, they're not gonna be fabulously pink. They're gonna lose their color, depending on what the player characters feed them, of course. But it's fairly hard to get their particular diet well done. Yeah, thank you. And when I think of flamingos, I always think of this very luffish holiday season. But in truth, flamingos tend to live a little more towards the desert, like the very salty marshes. And it doesn't look like palm trees, coconuts. Far from that. That's not their breeding ground. If you look it up, those cuties, it's fairly interesting. But aside from my flamingo joke, let's get on it. Betting about more valuables, things that players could collect. We have the magic carpet. I'm trying to cover up some of the gold that I have to draw out, so I don't want to draw every little piece of coin. Perhaps a few, but not a whole hoard. That would be too much, man. I don't wanna. Spell scrolls are valuable items, though I'm gonna keep them at the spell components department right over there. Not gonna, or even the trinkets that player characters drag along, like the essentials. But spell scroll. And for page number 1, I'm really looking for luxurious items, like the lavish, luxurious items that play characters don't need but want to have, like the shinies. You don't need it, but it's the junk that you just want and drag around. You don't need your gems, but you want them because they're valuable. Also in the news, stay hydrated, people. Be sure that you have your drink standing at standby or within reach. It's even better. I think the scroll skull that we have over here is a nice Skyrim reference and a reference for any player that I've hosted a game for. You know, as in without any spoilers. I have hosted thus far the Waterdeep campaign, so that's a nice little gimmick. For me as a person, I would definitely wake up a luxurious lavish map, but map is more of the essentials, like the stuff you need to navigate within the D&D verse. it's not just a luxury item, it's a bit of a must-have. So I'm gonna write it down over here, map question mark. And I could also work on the mimic right over here as a thing too. I mean, we are staring straight into the inside of a mimic, so I don't necessarily think it's gonna be the prettiest image. Some acidic slime, or yeah. Plop, plop, plop. For the ones that are very brave, make a healing potion out of that. I dare you, double dare you. And then you may roll for damage the minute you ingest it. Unless you were smart enough to add components that would get rid of the acidic touch. Some of these expensive bracelets sticking out with all sorts of gems on them. Like an entire set. And to top it off, there is some necklace with a huge amulet. Ooh. Adorned with more gems and stuff to the expensive kind of thingy thing. And I wouldn't say it's any amulet of magical value, or oh, it's the amulet of health. Nah. No, it's worth a pretty amount of coin. It's worth some gold, but that's it. If I really sort of think about it, the most valuable items within D&D are the magic items. They're always so expensive. At least as a player character, I experienced that, and as a DM as well, or GM. Cool. Yep, compared to the first page, everything else is stuffed to the brim. And that's alright. Just show me some lovely teeth right over here. Making that more clear. And once I'm done setting up the sketch and everything, the fun part has yet to come. I'll have to align things that they make sense, like when you flip canvas, or when you turn the pages around, that it is actually on the back side. I can match things up. Boop. pearly necklaces. That is a thing. Like, maybe it could be stuck between the teeth or something, like around it. One of these hangers on it, like make it more expensive than it actually has to be, but pearls. Oof. Expensive little things. Also, draft up the entire oyster that comes along with the pearl. As in, play characters couldn't remove the pearl, but they could take the entire thing with them, so they're being adamant on selling the entire thing. Or wait for it to you know, croak, and then they can harvest the pearl. It's a little cruel, but player characters aren't always, you know, the kindest. Especially because it's a game and we distance ourselves from the NPCs. But this becomes an entirely different world when we play games such as Mass Effect or those type of games where we really just, you know, like, oh no, I'm gonna take the good path because I don't want to hurt the NPCs' feelings. Whereas with in D&D, like, there's no limiters, that all boundaries are off. Kind of hilarious if you think about it. I guess I have the most fun with games where the DM or where I myself really get the chance to have the NPCs play out that part as people probably respond in real life as well when things are going down or things happening in town. It's like, oh no. Yeah, so they're gonna run if they can't fight. They're gonna go sit there, like Skyrim. Sorry, Skyrim. It's like there's a part in Skyrim that I really don't like, is when you are attached to some of the NPCs that they have, and then there's a vampire happening. And they bloody hell run toward the vampire, like, no, you can't fight, you're just, you know, don't, oh, and Gone is a particular NPC of a shop that you really liked. Like, it is very fun that everything is free game within the Skyrim world, but oof. Or at least, probably not a shop owner, but usually it's the wife of the shop owner, or it's a husband of a stall owner. Those kind of things, and you really got attached to them. It's like, no, no. So many teeth. Just zooming out a little bit, so we have an overview of our chaos. Well, I would say chaotic, of a chaotic little mess that we're making. It's nice though. Maybe a couple of more gems right over here up this alley, and particular kind of stones. Amber, that's another stone. Amethyst. Amethyst may come in rock format, and gotta remove a tooth. What else do we have? Emerald, another thing. I did believe I had a particular shape drawn as emerald earlier, right over here in the corner, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to have multiple shapes over here. It's like a lovely gem area. Starting to look proper. We could do a couple of rings around the teeth, and I would use the front teeth. But it can't be too big, because, you know, if you're trying to scale everything up to how it would look like, we're gonna get half a lot of fun. A lot of it. Like, just a question for the audience, for at least for the people who live in the Netherlands. Maybe you've noticed as well, or at least within the area where I live, I've noticed that that the activity of airplanes has grown. Like, I can hear almost like every day, a few times at the very least, airplanes flying by, and that's something. It's kind of starting to, you know, become a thing. And I'm not too sure what to think of it, but one thing is for certain, I don't like it. It's too noisy. Yeah, that would make sense in a way. Compared to the troll skull, I would say these rings are still a tad, you know, big. A troll could wear them. So maybe that indicates that I'll have to... Otherwise, this is a very large painting as well in the crown. Huh. Or the troll was not very big. Nah, trolls are huge. So I am going to enhance. Something I want to stack right over there. No, that makes more sense. It's a very big goldfish. Yep. Maybe more, we're talking about a horde, like a horde of the mimic, more gold right over here. So many coins. And I'll have to think about how to get that one done, because I do have a line art version alongside with the Call It version for those who don't want to, you know, jam up that printer and ruin it. Maybe some more gemstones right over here. crystals could be a thing. And I'm not sure if it would be a thing in D&D to have fossils to be of any value, but I'm not sure if they have a department for that within the D&D first. I mean, it was a background for archaeology, I believe, or... Yes, same, I would love that too. But I'm not sure if it's a thing or not. Like, I thought there was, that you had a background archaeologist, but it could have been a homebrew background just as easily that I found, and nothing, like, official. Because if it's an official background, then I could add some fossils here, there, because those are valuables too, and trinkets that you don't need, but... Yeah, there is Blizzard Fox, indeed, but is it official? Is it an official background archaeology? Yeah, I know we can make it a thing, but I do want this character sheet to be somewhat recognizable for people who stare at it and buy it like, oh yeah. Because even the spell components are based off actual things that you need in D&D to cast your spells. So I do want to have some, you know. It's from Tomb. Aha. Yeah, but that is where the dinosaurs are still alive. Ah, so it was a background that Leith had. But was it... It was an official background from Leith, not a homebrew background. Because I know that as a DM and as a GM, I do allow people to come up with their, you know, homebrew thingies that they can find on the internet or invent themselves. Official. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, if it's official, then here we go. Let's find a nice spot. Maybe beside the crystals right over here. And let's go for a rock kind of format. Boop, boop, boop. And one of the most common fossils that are found around. Because I do be like that. And I'll need to use references for this little thingy thing. What better than my own reference at home, because I have one of those. It's very tiny though. But I absolutely love it, and every day when I wake up, come out of bed, I just go through my room and stare at the trinkets. It's like, this is one of the trinkets I really love. So there we have it. Fossil number 1. Aha! Oh, also thank you for confirming that it's an official background. Very nice. That means value. Haha. Be a little. Those could be bars or crystals. Just gotta think a little bit about what we have right now and where to cram in some more fossils. I mean, there's definitely a lot of options, like for plants of late Jura. Let's put a fossil right in the corner over here. Perhaps people in chat know what it is. Or what it is. Or what it is. That was a mistake. I had a different tab open and that we had a bit of a loop and a glitch. Wow. I knew. I hopefully pronounce it correctly, and there we go, bioma. Indeed, it's an ammonite. That is very much correct, and they come in different shapes and, well, different sizes is more a thing. And then their shape kind of depends on how they've been, you know, cracked open and how old they are. Just love them. And it's nice with our whimsical sea theme over here. Yeah, they can be huge. I saw some images that they were like, oh, half human size. It's amazing though. And if I remember correctly from my mother's side, there were a couple of friends that she used to visit a lot, and they had these ammonites on their wall that were fake, they were replicas, but they made them really big to resemble actual ammonites. Helix fossil. I'll have to look that one up. Oh, that is Pokemon. Oh, yeah. Oh, bracelet Helix. Could I forget? Well, I think I'm used to the Dutch term for that one. Not just when you have a 30 centimeters. Wow, that's amazing bioma. As for my ammonite fossil, it is. Oh my god. That one is a little louder than I'd hoped to be, and I thought I removed that one from the list, to be honest, because it is so loud and long-lasting. Oh, that's amazing. Wowzers. Yeah, I'll probably after the stream look into the sound alerts again and figure that one out. Or at least knock it down in volume. Phew. Yeah, it went on long. It's a good one, but oh, loud. Yeah, no, I had it tested before and I removed it for a solid reason, so I had it removed, bioma. One of the sounds that it's not supposed to be on the list that you can, you know, supposed to be using. Hui Patui. Fossils, that was a thing. Well, before I got interrupted by a large Honya, ammonite that I have is no bigger than 2 centimeters. It's fairly small, but I love it. I got it on a market stall, so there's a fat chance that it is a faker and not a real one, but I took my chances and just loved it. I think some fishy skeleton would be nice for a fossil right over here. I'm not drawing any particular kind of fish right now, I'm just making one up as I go, so you can't find it. Even though I have a bit of a coelacanth in mind, along with a pike type of thing. I'll probably look one of the fish fossils up when I start making those. At least when I start crafting down the line art and stuff like that. Oof. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to zoom out for a bit so we have an overview of what we're doing and how lovely and busy it is getting in this valuable collection corner with some jingly keys above a troll skull. And it's not entirely tracking the items anymore, Bioma. That was a previous idea. It kind of evolved into, because it's immensely almost impossible for me to go and buy every item and have a in the PDF file have people edit the amount of what they have. Like I'd have to add squares everywhere, like, oh, how many paintings do you own? Let's make that one red, or stuff like that. I'd have to square down so many impossible tiny items that it would become too much. Too much to look at, too much to do. So it's more of a decorative, you know, behind when you flip the entire page over, it's the decorative side and a reminder of things that you could all drag along on your adventure. Things you could find and things you might want to collect. So I'm going for the backside as in more decorative rather than functional. The front is functional and very much has to be used. So yeah, there we have the entire thing I'm getting. Bloop. Make a small copy right over here. Save and store our progress before we continue forward. Yeah, that would be coding a lot, and I am not a programmer. As for Bioma, like, it would be a lovely idea, like, oh, if you have the non-colored version and you have the colored version for the items that you own and have, that's fantastic. It would be hella amazing and of a feat to be able to do that, but I'd have to make an entire app or a game around it to be able to have people select and drop or click on a thing that they've collected. I think that takes a lot of coding. It's not impossible. I think it is very much possible. But I first want to focus on what I can do and not on what I probably can do with a lot of effort. So I don't want to make it too difficult for myself. With a printed version. So it means you'd have to print both versions, and as a player probably use the scissors and or color it yourself. So you just have a color sheet thingy. That could be a thing too. Like a color. Yeah. Then you do it yourself. So you just go for the line art and the line work, and that's what you print, and then you have to... it could be a thing, you could do that, definitely, for sure. Yeah, why not? That's a very good idea for the people who want to use it like that. Because I have to do the entire line art anyway. Yeah, could be. Ooh, this is what I collected, and things started to puzzle piece together. Have I collected a halberd? Have I collected a bag of holding? Magic carpet is on the list too. That could be a challenge. The magic carpet is fairly expensive in D&D terms. But hey, nothing is impossible. I mean, a boat is fairly expensive as well. So yeah, through the campaign that you run through, just have a more and more detailed and colored piece as you color and go through the campaign. I like it. That's nice. Well, yeah, that would be available for the people who'd buy the line art version only, and if you buy the colored version, there's already some color slapped on it. All right. I think that's a lovely idea. So this is already way more effort than you've ever seen in any other character sheet for sure. I'm not sure about that, but yeah. I think that's a really fun idea though. Mind sending that as a DM, or I'll probably screenshot this and save your commentary for later on the computer. Because I think it's very lovely. Bloop, there you go. At least there I go. Because now I have a screenshot. It's that easy nowadays. As for this thing as a puzzle, so we have fish puzzle. Maybe a plan in the middle. I do like fern, so why not? Oh, and there were wild amounts of fern back in the day. It is still clear for me, and it will be more clear when I start the line art. Because then the keys will be still in the way and in the path of set fern in the background, but it'll be less of an eyesore and more of a, oh yeah. Because if you zoom out, it's already, getting there. Yeah, this mimic is stuffed. And I still have to figure out a spot for the mimic. I thought maybe I showed like the tongue or anything. No. Right over there. Teeth. Behind the plants. Just as a reminder for myself that I have to work on that area. To work on so many areas. But yeah, I think all of the areas are unique and fun to work on. Like it's really coming together. I'm gonna get rid of some of the notes that I made because I have them saved on other sides. So flip, flip. I can do that way easier. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And bloop. There. Technology. Certainly, certainly. For some reason, I cannot wait for this product to be actually done, and I know it's gonna take me a while to get this whole massively thing done. But I think I'll be very joyed to hold it in my hands. I'll have it printed on special paper. Maybe if I can get a hold of a print shop that is capable of printing. It's like this. It isn't exactly gold, but it looks like the shiny reflective gold on a card. Some print shops offer that option. I would definitely go for some of the corner bits to have that. Or it's a grueling slime over here, the acidic slime, to have this very acidic popping out color. You know a print shop that does that. That's nice. And also let me read a comment from Bayama. Ooh, connections. So another option would be that they only the background is colored and the items inside the inside our mimic is not. So there's a non-colored one and a fully colored one and a half-colored one for at least as it is not any more work for you. Could be. I'm not too sure about that one. I just wanted to stick it to two versions. Otherwise, it is going to be a lot of work for me because you know I'll probably have the coloring in one layer, like underneath it, and I'll tackle it like so. Whee! It's usually how I color my line work. You could take it from someone that has the gold. Very understandable. Yeah. That sounds nice, and heck yeah. And then if I can think of anything else, like more fossils maybe in the background, well, I think those 3 fossils are more than enough of a gimmick. Like, hey, we have this class that is an official class or background type, pardon me, that you can choose from. That's golden. And also for the rune readers, there is some runes like the R, which is I believe magic from the top of my head. I could be entirely wrong about it, but E. So there's a goldfish, a couple of rings. Oh yeah, sure. Sounds good. If you got, if you can do that, that sounds amazing. It will still take me a whole lot of time to think this one out and to figure out like what part would be very nice to have the shiny part added. So that's going to be some tinkering, and delivering things to a print shop is going to be tinkering too, but totally worth it. Especially if I can slam out a good deal. Also, for the Vikings among the players, there is a drink horn right over here in the utensils section, that things that you drag along on your journey. Because what good is a journey without your drinking horn? What to do? Gold. Pearly necklace. Alright, make sure to save the file and not lose anything at this point. That would be a shame. Just gonna go back toward the front side and see what we have on. I think. Look. There. Now, what would be nice for this section to pop out? I think I'm just going to use white and have one of my textured brushes instead of the pencil. I think this could be a lovely metallic color, either gold or perhaps a metallic color. I know that this is metal, or at least it's supposed to be those handles. Maybe teeth are nice. The thing is, we don't want it to be too busy. But yeah, there's this big orb in the middle that would also be mighty fine to have that kind of stand out. And then we have an item on every page that stands out. Oh, the eyeball's right over there. Mimic! Could be the dice right over here stuck between the teeth. And that will be all different colors, but that will be something to look forward to. And perhaps have some shiny edges. I'll get to that point once I start coloring and figure out the areas that I want to have highlighted. But this could be a nice start. Dice. Some dice over here as well. And it would be too much to have all of this just lit up. That is a lot of trinkets. But if we look at the bigger things, that could be fun. Troll skull. There's one jar with eyeballs, that could be fun. And a halberd. Yeah, there's a bunch of ideas that could work and pan out. It's our lovely flamingo. There and there. And there was another thing that I earlier today mentioned in chat. I mentioned the idea of having pins. Things to collect, things to use as icons in Discord, on Twitch, so we have our own, you know, icon little feed thingy going on. And why not start with a mimic? I'm just having a loose idea, just jamming it down as a closure for our stream. So I'm going to go on for perhaps 10 more minutes and that's it. It's like a quick draft of a mimic. Alright, gotta stick with the 3 eyes to have it somewhat, you know, look like the mimic that is unfolding as a character sheet. Yeah, I don't think broccoli is going to work for our mimic chest. That's the thing. Like, eat your veggies. Nope. I think dice are also very nice, so you have the d20. Could definitely be a part of everything. And I forgot how to draw a d20, and I'll get back to that. It's usually with some triangles. Could be nice, and also the natural one, that could be a thing too. Those could be very nice stickers once I manage to get them correctly. And pins. Right. I think a dragon puking fire might also be a very funny icon to have. Like, I don't feel so good. For some reason, I find that hilarious. And yeah, there's still a couple of expressions that I was working on for the character that I have in the corner that you can see moving around. That is a thing. Grumpy Dragon could also be a thing. I'm gonna come up with a couple of more D&D themed characters and or things that would make probably lovely pins, but I'm gonna pan that out another time. We're gonna close the stream and see if I can find somebody to raid. Timberchod. I have no clue what you mean by Timberchod, but you can always DM me. So let's go and find. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna go start a raid for Icy Moo. She's playing Minecraft and it looks fairly interesting.
Je ziet ze overal.
All right. See you guys later.